Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the Night Models Harry Potter Miniatures Adventure Game review. Today on this video, we are going to be talking about the component quality, the rule book, how I feel about the game, do I think it's a good value, all of the traditional review stuff. If you want to go back and see how the game actually plays, there's a link in the top corner and in the description below for part 1 of this review series. So if you'll follow me down to the table, I will show you what I think about the game. Alright, so we just got finished recording the how to play portion of the game, and now we're going to talk about my actual review of the game. Let's start with all of the pros. The very first thing is that this game is a Harry Potter game through and through. I think the biggest question that a lot of people are going to have is, does this game feel like a game where they just slapped Harry Potter onto it? Or does it feel like it's Harry Potter? And I can say everything about this game feels Harry Potter. We have the Galleon cost, Mastery uses the Elder Wand, Defense has the Hogwarts shield on it, they call it Cunning instead of Speed, Magic, Temper, Wisdom, Courage, all of these things that are very, very Harry Potter. We have Expelliarmus with the actual way that you do Expelliarmus on there. Everything about this, even like the little finger pointing to that this is an innate trait of the Death Eaters, just feels Harry Potter. The abilities are all named properly. So I would say that this is not a shell. Now, yes, tons of games have used the plus and minus and with the what they call exploding dice, where one die then can be re-rolled, and if you continue to roll 6, you will roll infinitely 6s, and you can go on forever and never be beaten, and eventually you'll just say, you know what, I'm done rolling this. But everything about this is just fabulously Harry Potter, and I can say I'm very, very happy with that. The second portion is the other question on everyone's mind is, what are the quality of the miniatures? Well, you can see my paint job on little Dobby here, but the fact is that these minis are incredibly high quality, and Night Models is known for that. Night Models is known for having incredibly high quality minis. These are very, very advanced level of 28 to 35 millimeter miniatures. These are definitely not beginner minis. They take a good amount of work to get all of the stuff off. They're also resin, so they're super fragile, but so highly detailed. I mean, like, look at this guy. His detail is phenomenal. I have had such a blast painting these so far, and I think that they are absolutely phenomenal. Now, unfortunately, I have not painted the three heroes, Harry, Ron, and Hermione. I just painted the House Elves, and I painted Filch for the Hogwarts side. And these are all exclusives to the All-In Pledge. So, unfortunately, you do not get them in the base game. And I will tell you that that is my first kind of complaint or con, is that if you buy the base game in the store, you're going to get Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Yay! But then you're also going to get 4 Death Eaters. Pretty cool, but no real villains. There is no, Voldemort is the clear villain, and I get it, like Harry, Ron, and Hermione running around trying to kill Voldemort, probably not the best thing, but couldn't they put in any of the named characters as a villain into the base game? It seems a little ridiculous that it's Death Eater 1, Death Eater 2. They couldn't even say that this is Crab and this is Goyle, and not the young ones, but the adult Crab, Goyle, and this is Bellatrix and something like that in Death Eater form. Why are they Death Eater 1, 2, 3, and 4? Might as well just call him Convict or Bad Guy 1. There's not really a reason for them to be Death Eater 1 through 4. if you buy the expansion, sure, you can get almost every character. There's still a ton of characters that can come out, and I'm very, very excited about that. But the base game, I mean, you need the base game to get all the stuff, to get the boards and things like that, which they have said that they are going to be releasing more boards later. You need to get the base game, and I don't think that it's so great that then the magical beast is a really small acromantula and then a couple Acromantula swarms. The Acromantula should be huge. That should be as big as the unicorn and the troll and stuff like that. The Acromantula is a giant spider, and they have it, it fits on a regular base. That's this size. So then, while we're on components, I will say that the board is excellent. The boards are great quality. They are very high detail. They do have a little bit of like fuzz on the side, but that didn't bother me personally. I was able to just kind of scrape it a little bit and it came off. So I was okay with that. I will say though that the card quality is not great. The card quality is actually quite frustrating. I'm okay with the thinness. I've become more okay with the thinness, I should say. I wish they were a little bit thicker. These ones, being as thin as these ones, I think is totally unacceptable. These should be much, much sturdier, considering they're going to be used way more often than each individual version of these. Oops, hit the camera. Sorry. Here's the other portion of it. So all of these cards are all of the characters that I have. So I have quite a few characters. I'll be painting this game for a while. But let me find a good representation. And here we go. So that card is a completely different color than this one. It looks like it's a shadow, but look at the one above it. You can see that it goes from red to brown to red again. That is unacceptable to me. Here we have, where is it? This one has like a black Death Eater. This one has a bluish Death Eater. The actual Death Eater cards are green. So I don't know what's going on with that one. Then we have, here's like a really red one. So then this one's purple. So you can see behind it it's blue and blue and green. This one's purple and brown. So the quality control just isn't there for these cards. Flat out, they're just not there. I didn't see any typos on the cards, but I did get a unicorn card that is all like creased up and scratched for some reason. These also don't clearly state why there are so many of certain ones and not of the other ones. Here's Voldemort. Very cool. So like we have, so after reading through all the scenarios, I learned that the reason that these are sickles and these are galleons is because of the ways that you can play with this as an NPC character, the Dementor. But it doesn't really state that in the book. And I've noticed that a lot of these cards are like dinged up on the sides, and that was before I've ever played with them, because I definitely haven't played with all of the characters yet. I think that these, being the reversible power tokens, are just not acceptable. That's why I switched out to these. If you want to get these pieces here or these here, I'll have a link in the description below of where you can do it. I'm also going to do a video later of how to upgrade a lot of your components. I'm still working on how to upgrade these. If you have any ideas, let me know. The health tokens. But these have made these look way better. These bezels have made this look way better than what it came with, which is this. It's paper thin. They bend up. They're hard to grab. These, much easier to use and tell at a glance how many you have, because even when they're stacked up, you can tell that you've got 3 of them there, like instantly, versus the other thing. The dice are totally adequate, no problem with those. I'm really glad that the 6 has a symbol on them. They all seem very even. They seem to roll evenly. That might be different for other people, but I felt that they roll evenly, and they are always giving me different responses, so they don't seem to be weighted in any special way. The card quality of being off, like lack of quality, I should say, does repeat through these, does repeat through these. You'll find ones that are different shades of different colors. You also have other tokens in the game, and the fact that you get these that are just really thin and kind of useless. They also have like a cutout. Is this space here? So am I supposed to cut it out? Does this space here mean that it's not impassable terrain there? But then if you look on this side, this one has 2 of them. So am I supposed to cut that out? Because then that cuts this out. So, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I will be making a small pumpkin patch and will be making some things like that to actually put nice ones on my board. I did talk about during the unboxing that I would upgrade these if I like the game. So I will tell you right now, I like the game. I actually think that the way that these cards change something about the game every single round. The fact that the game is set to a certain amount of rounds, so if somebody just continues to run away from you because they're scared, you don't have to worry about it. You can go and work on any of your little ones here to get extra VP and ensure that you win the game. It encourages you to run forward. I like these. These change something every single time. I think I just shot a card underneath there. But these change something up every time, and they're optional, which is great, and I guess doubly optional, because you, number one, don't actually have to use them. You get to choose if you want to use them or not. So that, I think, is a really, really awesome thing. The amount of spells that you get is just incredible. Well, those are the items. There was a spell on top of it. Sorry. So those are the items. You get a lot of really cool and very thematic items from the movies and books. You get a ton of spells. You get a bunch of potions. There's a ton of replayability in this, and I think that there's going to be, if they decide to add more characters, this game is going to continue to grow and will be my choice for a skirmish game. I know that Warhammer just came out with 3 different types, and there's a bunch for everyone to choose from. But if you're a Harry Potter fan and you want an actual tactical game where you have to think and plan out your moves, this game does that. I actually think that the system is very simple, but these cards and the fact that you can build so much, I think is great. So on that level, I definitely recommend it. But there are 2 more things that I want to talk about. Maybe I'll come to a third, but for right now, 2 things. Okay, there is a third. But third is a minor complaint, so I'll get that one out of the way. The tin was terrible, and they shipped with a lot of pieces broken. I am now seeing friends on Instagram getting their replacement parts. It seemed to not take that long, so good on them for that. They're getting the replacement parts. They're getting those pieces out. I probably will contact them about some of these cards that are damaged. My Voldemort mini did not come with the scenario booklet, so there were some problems. I'm going to not forgive it or anything like that, but I will say that they are trying to make it right, and so most likely by the time you pick one up in stores, you'll be getting a really good one. The thing that I'm going to actually rail on a bit is that this rulebook sucks. The rulebook does not flow well at all. They spend a ton of time on line of sight, which is one of the easiest things to understand. They could have done this in such a more elegant way. I continuously am like this. So I go to the scenario, you roll and you figure out these, and then I go, what do I have to do again? Okay, here's this. Oh, wait. Can you go through what cards can I take? Okay, I can take 2 rare or 1 legendary. Wait, can another person take a legendary? What about these lucky dice? Oh, they go there. Okay, and you're through this over and over and over again. Now, I know that skirmish and war games are complex and they take a while to learn. And once you have memorized everything in that book, it's not going to be a problem. But it is not elegantly written. It has taken me way too long to figure out all of that kind of stuff. But I have now figured out most of it. And now that I have, I'm really, really enjoying it. So the final thing on that is the price. Now the price is a hard thing to come to a clear recommendation for, because price is relevant to some people. To some people, they're looking at this miniature and going, anytime I buy a mini that is of this quality here, I'm looking to pay $10, $12 for it. That's how much it costs. Some people are saying, I buy Kickstarter games where it's usually $1 a mini, at very max $2 a mini. Now, number one, those $1 and $2 minis are plastic, not resin. They don't have the quality of this, but they do come pre-assembled. So there you go. Also, this for an all-in pledge is about $300, and with shipping, probably $350. I think at some points it had been at $400 with conversion rates, US. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I bought it on a really, really good conversion day, and mine was actually totaled with shipping $300. But that $300 is a lot, and I'm willing to pay it because it's Harry Potter, and the miniature quality is just awesome. But the fact is that not nearly everyone who plays games and loves Harry Potter is able to drop $300 to get all the characters that they want. And if they buy the base game, it's going to be $120, I think it said $120, $125, maybe even euros. If it's euros, that's like $150 US for just the base game. That is a lot of money to get Harry, Ron, Hermione, 4 Death Eaters, 5 Acromantula tokens, and a large Acromantula token / mini. The cards and stuff to be able to play the game. This part here and these really, really cheap tokens, definitely not worth it. And when you're looking at the minis that you're getting, I don't know. So I'll say this. Here's my 3 thoughts all compiled into one. The game, so much fun. Highly recommend it. The miniatures themselves and the Harry Potter theming and how awesomely they wrapped it up, totally recommend it. The component quality of all the other pieces at the price that it's at, I do not recommend it. So if price is your consideration, probably skip this. If miniatures and painting is your consideration, this is a must. And if you were thinking, well, I really want a skirmish game, but I don't know which one to get, and there's so many out there, I love Harry Potter, this is the one to get. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And because this game is going back and forth in the message boards, tell me down below what you think of it, and tell me what you think I think of it. In other words, rate my review. Review my review. Do whatever you want. Just be happy. Love you all. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.